Welcome to the Quimby Chronicles Momcast, where we talk about all things motherhood, family, and keeping your sanity through it all. On today's episode, we're talking about seasonal affective disorder, also known as seasonal depression. You ready to join the conversation? Come on in. Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of the Quimby Chronicles Momcast. I'm Tracy, and I'm here with my co-host, my beautiful daughter Shantae. Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode.
Hi, everybody. Today we are going to be diving into the topic of seasonal depression, and we are so glad that you guys decided to join us this week in talking about this because we know this is something that's very common and it happens to all types of people, not even moms, not even parents in general. This is something that really happens to it could happen to anyone, honestly. And we decided to, shed some light, shed some of our experiences and things that we do to get through it with you guys.
Yep. And we know it's real out here. So we just want to have a real open and honest conversation about how seasonal depression affects all of us. So grab your coffee, your tea, or your wine, because we don't judge, okay? Get cozy, and then let's get into it.
Okay, guys, so let's start with a quick breakdown. Seasonal depression, or seasonal affective disorder, SAD for short, is when you get that feeling of when, you're not really feeling yourself, you're feeling blah, just, out of body, in a rut, anything like that is more than just a feeling that you get, like when it's dark outside. It's the type of depression that literally comes with the seasons. It's normally starting around the fall time. It a lot of times lasts longer than the winter.
Exactly. And it's something that can hit hard, especially if you're someone that has a lot on your plate, like Shantae, because she is a mom of two toddlers. And I'm going to tell you right now, one toddler is no joke. So, two toddlers, honey, my hat is off to her. Or if you're like me, I'm a full time mom, I work, I'm a full time mom of two groups of kids. I got high schoolers, and then we have in the house a first grader and a pre K. So, seasonal depression is more apt to affect people like us because we already have a lot on our plate. But life doesn't stop because you're struggling, because guess what? Life goes on. You still got to do what you got to do. And that is the hard part.
Right. So if you've been feeling, more tired, irritable, off, anything like that, you're definitely not alone. I promise you that. And there's nothing wrong with you. So let's talk about our experiences so people know that they're not out here just doing it by themselves. There's
Okay, so I'll go first. For me, seasonal depression looks like not wanting to do the things that I normally enjoy. And something that I used to do all the time before we moved here, after we moved here, I would always get my cup of coffee. I'm outside somewhere. Now, number one, it doesn't help that it gets darker at like 5 o'clock. I mean, it's getting a little bit better now, but like at one point, I swear 5 o'clock it will be dark. That doesn't help. And number two, it is unseasonably cold in Florida. So I don't get to do that. And not being able to do stuff like that, it just makes me want to do nothing. It just makes me want to stay in bed. I don't want to do no dishes. I don't want to cook. I don't want to like nothing. All I want to do is just lay in bed. I get up and I do the things I have to do, and all that other stuff. Sure. I feel like, some days it just feels like I'm walking through quicksand, like I can't get it together. And even though I've started on meds and I'm doing gratitude journaling, I'm in therapy, still sometimes, some days is rough. Okay. So, and then it's like, I don't know. It's like, what do you do? What's next?
Yeah, I definitely feel that. For me, it's definitely the lack of sunlight that our house gets. Because for those of you that don't know, I live in a set of townhouses, and the house does not get much sun at
Mm.
all because we're on the corner, but the corner that we're on the sunlight is either in the front of the house for some of the day, and then you just have nothing but clouds and all that for the rest of the day.
Mm.
The how Our house does not get a lot of sunlight, and I am a sucker for natural light. That genuinely makes me feel better. Opening up the windows when I wake up, that's the first thing I do. I go and open up all the blinds and all the windows because that helps me feel better. So it doesn't really help, like my mom said, that it gets dark so early because we already don't get that much sun, and then the sun is going away fairly early. So that's
Yeah.
definitely a combination for disaster for me. And if you know, you know, you don't use the big lights in the house. You just don't do it. You don't. You need lamps and ambience lighting and all of the good things, but we don't have that. So it's just been a struggle, honestly. And it's definitely easy for me to feel isolated and holding myself accountable because it's literally me here with two very interesting, very hyper and active toddlers. It's definitely very easy for me to feel isolated because I still don't know very many people here, and people that I do know are through my husband and they work the same time as he does. So it's not really anything for me to be doing, but you know, there are times where I do like to try to step outside for a couple of minutes or something like that just to have a second to myself. But then you guys already know that mom guilt kicks in a heartbeat. So I do need to be better about setting boundaries for myself and making time for myself. But I'm going to fight the guilt this year. This is the year that I fight the mom guilt back. I fight back. So that's what the plan is going forward.
Well, and the guilt is real. And the fact that you can recognize it and you acknowledge it, hey, it's progress, okay? Because a win is a win.
First step.
And, okay, for me, I've just had to lean on therapy and lean on my support system. And, for me, my support system consists of my sister and my two best friends. And there's one of my best friends that we'll send a text here and there and we'll get together for breakfast. But we get together, we have a good key, we laugh, we talk, and I feel so much better. And my other best friend, I talk to her probably almost every day, if not every day. And honey, she is always good for a good laugh, okay? Because she is hilarious. Okay. So, definitely. And if you know my sister, okay, my sister is also hilarious. Okay. So, it helps that I have such a supportive network of people around me. And, my circle, if you know me, my circle is not big. That's my circle right there. Okay. So, I mean, that's what works for me. So, what about you? What helps you, even if it's just a small, tiny, we said a win is a win. So, what works for you?
Honestly, it's really baby steps in when it comes to getting to the things that I should be doing. So like I said earlier, like opening up the curtains, stepping outside, things like
Hmm.
that. I am really trying to make it a point, well, not a point. I'm trying to make sure that I have a well established routine because I definitely feel like me and my kids, we thrive on routine. That's just how we work. So I need to do better about getting this routine down, trying to stick to the routine better, being more strict about it. So, no, you can do that. Oh, you can do that. Oh, I'll give you an extra
Yeah.
30 minutes. No, we need to stick
Yeah.
to the schedule because that is when we seem to be the most successful, is when we stick to our schedule and have it at that.
Right. And I mean, routines are lifesavers because, honey, without them, routines, like for me, routines are those things that on those days when I don't feel like doing anything, I just go on autopilot. That's what I use routines. And they are lifesavers, but they don't fix everything. So, we got to talk about coping strategies because on those days when you just going through the motions with your routine, then what? So let's talk about coping strategies.
Okay, so coping strategies and resources. One thing that has helped me a lot is music. 1000%. I use music to do everything. If I'm cooking, I have music on. If I'm cleaning, music's on, doing something with my hair, lashes, anything, nails. I always have music on. And the one thing that I really do is I utilize our Alexa device. First thing I do when I go downstairs, Alexa, play my so and so playlist. I do have a favorites playlist, and I labeled it on my phone on repeat because these are just the songs that I like to hear more often than others. And I change it out here and there because there's new songs that come in that are catchy and stuff like that. So I do update it pretty frequently. But that's the first thing I do. Alexa, shuffle my on repeat playlist. That's the first thing I do. I need to have music to get the day started. Honestly, I am definitely one of those people. And I saw I saw something about light therapy lamps, which I thought that I want to try those in the future because they are supposed to mimic natural sunlight, and I love natural light. I love it absolutely 1000%. So I definitely think that that's something worth looking into for me. And you also, if you also like natural sunlight as much as I do, I do think that if it does what it's supposed to, I do think that that would be very beneficial for me. What about you, Mom?
So me, I first of all, I joined the gym last month because, like I told you last week, one of my goals this year is to get healthy in all ways. So for my physical health, I joined the gym. So for me, it's been movement. And I ain't gonna lie, my trainer gave me the business the other day because she was like, why I only see you in the gym on the days we work together? I was like, what? What you talking about? Yeah, because I only go on the days that I see her. But I promised her that I would do better because she'd be trying to give me the business. And she tries to kill me whenever I go. Okay. I definitely feel it. So yeah, I went today and we did arms, we did like some pull-ups and stuff like that. Whole nother something. But that's and staying on top of my meds and making sure that I make my therapy appointments. They're non-negotiables, So I make sure, and then I make sure that I check in with my friends and my family. So I'm not isolating myself. And honestly, living with my sister really helps because when I tell you she is my partner in crime and I am hers, you hardly ever see her without me and vice versa. If you ever see my sister somewhere without me, it'll usually be because I worked the night before and I'm sleeping, or like I don't feel well or whatever. If you see me without her, it's probably she's at home doing something. She doesn't feel well, she's tired or something like that. But other than that, okay, we like this. We like, okay, so yeah. But yeah, the important thing is to make sure that I'm not isolated, and living with my sister does make it easy to not myself. So I'm happy for that.
That is definitely a good one, a good couple of ones. Very much proud. And for all of the other moms out there, you guys don't be afraid to ask for help, whether it's, if you seek professional help, a family member, your partner, really anyone that you could trust talking to. It's definitely worth talking because you aren't alone and you shouldn't have to feel alone.
Absolutely. I mean, and let's not forget about self care, like real self. I know it was such a trendy word, I think last year, but I think some people forget something as simple as saying no to an event that you really don't want to go to, saying no to doing something that you really don't want to do, and not feeling bad about it. That's the important part. The important part is not feeling bad about it because we'll say no. Well, first of all, I don't really feel too much when I say no. I really don't. Um, no, I don't. Um, but that's why my circle is so small because my circle knows me and they know the things that I'm likely to do and stuff like you. They know, they know. So something as simple as saying no and not feeling guilty about it, or taking a nap, honey. That is one of my favorite forms of self care. Okay, because I love me a good nap. So taking a nap and saying no, both without being guilty, that's self care all day long. Okay.
That is for sure. And we definitely need to stop associating, you know, doing self care as moms as being selfish, because definitely is something that I've learned over the past, I'd say, like, couple of months or so. Because I was going to say a year, and then I saw the look my mom was giving me. I can't sit here and lie to you guys. So I would say over the past couple of months, I have done better about, doing things for myself. There'd be times where I'm like, okay, I don't want to ask my husband to do this because he was working all day. And I remember we had to sit down and talk about it. And he's like, well, Shantae, you're working all day too. Like, you're up before me. You're doing breakfast and lunch for the hooligans, and I'm doing dinner and bath time and all this. So he's like, you're working all day too, and even longer than all day. So, like, if there's something that you need to do, then, let me know.
Yeah.
Because me, I am also working on my communication.
Yeah.
So instead of being like, oh, yeah, like, not, I guess, not really communication, I would say trying to think for others. Like, oh, he's probably not going to want to do this because he already did that. And he's like, no, like, don't think for me. I can think for myself. If this is something that you want to do, let me know. And I'm like, oh, okay, you got it. You got
You heard my boy, okay? You heard my boy. And again, let me tell you something. I am so very proud of how far y'all have come, because communication a is such a big thing. And I think people underestimate that. So I'm very proud of you for communicating your needs, because
Yeah.
we know how you tend to do. Okay. So
Yes, I
I'm very
will self implode on
what
myself constantly.
what
Don't know why I do that, but I am doing better about it. I am more vocal about the things that I want or need or anything like
Mhm,
that,
mhm,
because there was a time where I was talking about, I said, oh, I want to do my nails because I do my own nails. I do my own gel nails. Okay, they're not done now, but we're not going to talk about that. I can't, I don't have any proof. Just next week when we call y'all, I'll have proof. But I do my own gel nails at home, and I'm like, man, I haven't done my nails in so and so weeks. I
mhm.
miss having my nails. Da 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 da. My husband got dinner for the kids. He bathed them, like, he gave them a bath and put them to bed. Brought them in to say goodnight, and he put them to bed. Also,
Mhm.
I could do my nails, and I was like, oh, when I communicate, this is nice. This is so nice.
Partner girl. I love it. I love y'all. I do. I love it for y'all. Really, really.
Thank you.
All right. So that is a wrap for today's episode. First of all, thank you for joining us. Thank you for letting me yak, okay, with you. I do hope that this conversation reminds you of three things. Number one, you're not alone, because you are never the only person going through what you're going through. It's always somebody else going through what you're going through. Number two, don't be afraid to ask for help. And us as moms, we are horrible about asking for help. We try to be super women. And even though we are super women need help too. So don't be afraid to ask for help. And number three, take things one day at a time. Because if you're like me, you be like, oh, well, for example, I'm gonna build this little tree house. But then you trying to hurry up and build a tree house all in one day, and then you mad because you don't have all the tools you need. You need help, but you don't want to ask for help. So, same thing. So just make sure you take things one day at a time, because even though today may be a crappy day, tomorrow's an opportunity for a better one. So one day at a time, okay?
Absolutely, guys. That is very important to pace yourself in life, because that cuts down on, the frustration you would get with yourself or others or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
It can be daunting, very much so. Very much so. So if you're struggling, please reach out to someone, whether it's, a friend, any sort of professional help, or even us. You can absolutely contact us, through, you can DM us on DM us. There we go. On Instagram. You guys just ignore that. You can DM us on Instagram, or you can email us at thequimbyqronicles@gmail.com. Any sort of way that you guys choose to reach out to us, we will definitely be a listening ear for anyone. No judgment. We listen and we don't judge.
Okay,
We
for
would
real.
absolutely love to hear from you guys if you chose to reach out to us. 1000%.
Absolutely. So make sure that you take care of yourselves, and we will call you next time for the Quimby Chronicles Momcast. Until then, make sure you be kind to yourself and commend yourself on doing the best. We'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for tuning into the Quimby Chronicles Momcast. Don't forget to subscribe, share this episode, and join us next time as we tackle more of the beautiful chaos that is motherhood.